Hi everyone, this is Vivian. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk more about italic calligraphy. So if you're interested in learning italic calligraphy, make sure you check out the playlist. In the playlist, I have videos about choosing different types of pens and different types of papers, different type of ink, and also I show you how to prepare your nib, how to fix your nib, and also how to make your own guide sheet. So today I have a guide sheet with me. This one is similar to the one I show you in the how to make your own guide sheet video. And I'm using a Mitchell nib 2.5. As always, I use the Hingis Eternal ink. So for italic calligraphy, there are different method or different theory. People construct the letters differently. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but it's my opinion. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to construct it. I can see the pros and cons on each. So today we're going to talk about these different ways to construct italic calligraphy. So the first way, the way I learn it, is to really break down every strokes. So for the letter A, I would do the first stroke like so, and then do a second stroke, and then do a third stroke. So this is broken down into 3 strokes. And the reason why I like this way of constructing is because it just feels smoother when I draw a line from left to right. The nibs just glides through the writing surface smoothly as opposed to pushing it from right to left. That's right, this way of writing, it just feels smoother because all the stroke is pretty much going from left to right. But the downside is you are taking more time to construct this letter because you're doing all these things separately. So the second way to construct it is to actually write it like how you would normally with a pen, all with one stroke. So it would be pushing it from right to left, and then just connect everything into one stroke. So either way you construct the A, and also depend on the type of paper you use. Sometimes pushing from right to left can be just really scratchy. If you use a thicker paper, texture paper such as watercolor paper or any kind of paper that was texture, it's just going to be a little harder to do this push. But it does save you a little bit more time, and it does feel more natural with your hand, more like you're writing. And for letter B, I would normally also break it down into 1, 2, and then 3. So again, why I broke it down is because gliding the nib from left to right is just a lot more easier than pushing it from right to left. But if you want to try all in one stroke, you can definitely do it all in one stroke like so. So there's really, the end result is pretty much the same. And for letter C, I do it in 2 strokes, but then you can, it's kind of like, it's a little bit like half of the A, so you can definitely do it in 1 if you want to. So as you can see, again, the result is the same. And then for D, it would just be like the A I have, but then instead of a longer stem. So normally I would do 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to combine this, you can maybe reduce it into 2 strokes. So there you have in 2 strokes. And for letter E, the way I like to write is actually constructing 3 strokes. So there's 1 and 2 and then 3. But if you want to reduce down the number of strokes, you can do 1, 2, and then again just push it back to the left. And then the letter F, how I normally would have it is actually in 1 stroke, and then 2, 3, 4. So again, this one is optional. You don't need to have that tail, but I'm used to having the tail. And then if you want to reduce it, you can do this 1 long stroke all in 1. So it would be pushing it, dragging it, turning it, and then do this. So there you can just have in 2 strokes. In G, you probably know how I'm going to write it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I feel like when I break it down, I feel less nervous. But you can do all of this in maybe 2 strokes. So there's 1, 2. You can probably, oh, that's not good. You can probably just also do this all in one if you want. And for letter H, I would probably have it in 2 strokes normally. I would like actually pause and lift up my pen, my nib, I mean, and then do the second part. Or you can do it all in one continuous flow. That'll work too. And another way to do H is I can also add on a little roof on the top. That's just for stylistic reason. And for the letter I don't think you can reduce this anymore, so either way it's the same. And for J, depending on how big you want this hook, I will have it in 3, but you can also have it very like minimal. And so the same with the reduced stroke, you might just push it out a little bit. So I think these 2 styles are kind of the same. Another variation would be going a stroke, but then instead of having this I forgot what's this thing called. There's a name for this dot, but instead of making it prominent, you just do a little slant line. And for letter K, so I already do it in 2 strokes, but you can definitely even break down this one. A different variation would be, instead of having a loop, you can have this. Or if you want to combine this loop and the stand all together, you could have downstroke and then just go straight back up, like without even lifting your pen. And then L is just there's no other way to reduce the number of strokes. And for M, I like to break down everything. So to me, I'm used to writing it all separately. So I have 1 stroke, 2nd stroke, and then 3rd. Again, 1, 2, 3. And you can connect them all together, which I'm a little scared to write. I'm not that very good at connecting all that together. So you can do it all in 1 stroke. And same thing with the N. You could take a little pause, a little break, and then do your branching. Or you could connect it all in 1, continuous stroke. So like I said, the end result should look no different. It's just how you construct them is different. There are many different roads leads to Rome. That's why it's called italic. And for O, I think I don't think there's another way to write it. 2 stroke is it's just it really does need to have that 2 separate stroke. I'm not sure if you can do this in 1. It would just no, don't do that. And for letter P, so I sometimes would even separate out the last stroke. So I might have 1 and then have the last stroke. but like I kind of did it here, you can have this downstroke and then have this all in one stroke. And then for Q, you can break it down. Or you can do it all in one stroke. And for R, I like to lift my nibs up just to, for a little break before I do the branch. But you can definitely make it into one continuous movement. And for S, I think S, it has to be 3 strokes. I mean, you could probably do this, but somehow that never turned out right. So I would always break down this letter into 3 strokes. And T, there's no variation for T. And for letter U, you can do this in 2 strokes. That's 1, and then do a second stroke. Or you can do it all continuously as 1. And similarly to V, I am used to doing it in 2 strokes, and then they are both downstrokes. So the first one is like this, second one goes like this. But you could do it all in 1 stroke, like how you would normally write V with your regular pen. You could just have a V that just have a clean stop. And then for W, same thing. I like to, in this case, I actually do like the second stroke be an upstroke, and then end up and then finish it with a V. But you could combine all of it into one W, or that might also work. And then for X, there's really no way to it. Well, it could be a difference on. I do still like to do my, I don't know, I like my upstroke. If it's thin, I like to keep it as upstroke. So I don't think there's a right or wrong, but whichever, either go down, go up, it's up to you. And then letter Y, there are different ways to construct Y, but let's do this way. I will have almost like writing a U, and then I'll have, so that's 1, 2, 3 strokes. But you could combine it into 1, 2, 3, or you can even have you can even forget about that little the end stroke, just do a flat out like so. You can also do a Y like this way, so that's another way to write Y. And then for Z, that's I don't know if there's any other way to write Z. Maybe you can get a dot, I think, without dot. Yeah. So there you have it, different doctors for italic calligraphy. So let me know in the comment which way you preferred, the shortcut way or the break it down way. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to know more about lettering and calligraphy. I'll see you next time. Bye!